The real story is not a good one for the trooper at the center of it.
It's definitely not very easy. It creates a lot of stress, that's for sure.
Mike Wooten was married to Sarah Palin's sister, Molly, for 4 years. Their marriage ended bitterly in 2005. There has been constant battling over custody of their 2 children. And it is in the acrimonious divorce proceedings that private details of Trooper Mike Wooten's life have become public and are now part of a state investigation.
Was there ever a good time with you? At one point you were a member of that family.
You're absolutely right. I was a member of that family, and I have some very cherished memories of those times. There was a lot of good times. I don't wish any ill will on any of them. I absolutely don't. This is it's bad times for all of us. It's a bad divorce. It's a bad custody issue. I have fond memories of those times that I'll always have, and and I think everybody involved would like to put this behind them and just move on, and I believe that. I know that as I stated earlier, I made mistakes. I was punished. I moved on from those. I've grown and learned from them, and this is another issue that I'd like to put behind me and just move on. My focus is my children and my job, and that's where it's at.
The headlines about you: tasered a stepson when you were a taser officer, shot a moose illegally, 2 separate incidents where somebody saw you drinking in a car, driving. True?
Well, let me take those on one at a time and explain those to you.
So he did. Yes, he admits, he did taser his stepson, but he believes he did it safely, and the boy wanted it done, he says.
The situation with the taser is, I was a brand new taser instructor, just recently at the time, and I had just finished a training class and had all my stuff with me, and he was asking about it, and it wasn't, I didn't shoot him with a taser with a live, actual live cartridge and shoot him with the probes and, that kind of situation that some people have made this out to be. That's not the case at all. It was a training aid that he was hooked up to, just little clips, and the taser was activated for less than a second, which would be less than what you would get if you touched an electric fence. It was as safe as I could possibly make it. He was sitting on the living room floor with pillows around him, and so he wouldn't get hurt, that kind of thing. And that was it. When it was all over with, he was excited about it. He was bragging about it to everybody. Everybody thought it was cool, and the family all laughed about it, and that was it.
Looking back, was it dumb?
Yes, it was, absolutely. And like I stated before, not perfect. I've made mistakes, and I've learned from those mistakes, and not the best decision I've ever made. Absolutely not.
He admits he killed a moose illegally, a significant infraction in Alaska. But even though Wooten was a state trooper at the time, he says he didn't know his actions were illegal.
Drinking in cars?
No.
Didn't happen?
Didn't happen.
Those witnesses lying?
I don't know why they would say that. It didn't happen.
In 2006, a trooper investigation upheld several of the allegations against Wooten, including the taser incident, the shooting of the moose, and the use of alcohol while driving a patrol vehicle. Nearly 2 years before she became governor, Sarah Palin told police that she had listened on a phone as Trooper Wooten raged at her sister and threatened to kill her father.
Did you threaten to kill your father-in-law?
No, I did not.
You didn't say you were going to put an effing bullet in his head?
No, I did not.
So those people that say they heard that are lying?
I didn't threaten him, and I never threatened anyone, for that matter.
You had reprimanded or had written instructions to direct action 7 times since joining the force. Negligent damage to a police car, speeding, you got a speeding ticket once, bad driving. I guess what I'm asking you is, was there a time when you were maybe not a good cop?
No, there was a time where I was heavily scrutinized, and I was written up for things that maybe other people wouldn't get written up for. And you know, if you damage a patrol car in any way, then there's paperwork on it. Some of the other things that were in my file were things that were during this time, and I was looked at, I guess for lack of a better word, under a microscope, and everything I did was heavily scrutinized at the time.
Wooten would not discuss the Palin family or speak directly about them. His marriage to Molly McCann was his third. Since then, the 36-year-old trooper has married and divorced yet again.
I'm going to ask you personal questions. Have you had trouble with women in your life? Handling relationships, has that been a problem?
There's been issues, yeah.
The issues, including a long list of reprimands as a state trooper, eventually landed Trooper Mike Wooten on suspension for 5 days. He was not fired. His boss, though, was. And that is where the legal trouble begins for Alaska's governor, Sarah Palin. The allegation is that when Palin became governor, she used her power to try to get her ex-brother-in-law fired. Why? Records show the governor believed he was a dangerous state trooper, but others have alleged she just wanted to settle a family score. Her representatives have maintained, as has she, that she did not do anything illegal, and since becoming governor, did not try to use her position to get Trooper Wooten fired. What was an ugly family divorce exploded in the public arena when the state's Public Safety Commissioner Walt Monaghan was fired by Governor Palin. Palin in comments has maintained that Monaghan was fired because he was not moving fast enough on the initiatives she wanted for the department. Monaghan says otherwise.
I believe I was fired because I did not fire Mike Wooten.
And yet he also says he was never told to fire Wooten.
She had nothing to do with the pressure to fire Monaghan over Wooten. That is absolutely ridiculous and absurd.
But records reveal that staff in her administration, as well as her husband, contacted the Public Safety Commission about Mike Wooten some 20 times since Palin became governor.
In my heart of hearts, the governor, I think, did allow her personal feelings to get involved in her professional responsibilities. And she ventured where she should not have ventured into a personnel matter that involved an immediate family member of hers.
The state legislative investigation is expected to be over with by the middle of next month, just weeks before the presidential election in November. Drew Griffin, CNN, Anchorage, Alaska.